Proving a cash transaction took place is important for several reasons. From a business perspective, proving that the cash transaction took place is super important for accounting and budgeting. Proving cash transactions is essential for filing taxes or during audits. One of the most important reasons for proving that a cash transaction took place is to show a reliable trail of evidence in case of disputes or disagreements between the parties involved. The average person does not think to document a cash transaction and quickly regrets it when there is a problem. How should business owners, or anyone else for that matter, deal with cash transactions? Does your company accept any transactions where an employee either accepts or pays for something in cash? Are you an individual who buys and sells items using cash? In this video, we are discussing the power of signatures and my recommendations for proving that a cash transaction took place. For the purposes of this video, I'm not going to get into the importance of ensuring the bills are real or how many times to count the money. Well, Nina, who still uses cash? Now, before you say, Nina, no one uses cash to buy anything anymore, I beg to differ. There are many individuals and business owners that still use cash. Cash transactions remain a preferred method for various reasons, especially in certain situations where simplicity, privacy, and immediate payments are essential. One primary reason people opt for cash transactions is their simplicity. Unlike electronic transactions that might involve technology, passwords, or network connectivity, cash transactions require no such complexities. Individuals can easily count money, hand it over, and receive immediate confirmation of the exchange, making it a straightforward process for both parties involved. Another significant advantage of cash transactions is the anonymity and privacy of the deal. When paying in cash, there is no electronic trail dealing with purchases, which can be appealing for those who prioritize confidentiality in their financial transactions. This anonymity ensures that personal and financial information is not shared or stored in databases, and that reduces the risk of potential data breaches or identity theft. Furthermore, cash transactions can be beneficial for individuals who have limited access to banking facilities or prefer to avoid transaction fees. Some people, particularly in rural or underprivileged areas, might find it challenging to access banking services, and for them, using cash allows for greater financial inclusion and access to goods and services without the reliance of a bank or financial institution. In addition, cash transactions eliminate the possibility of incurring fees or charges associated with electronic payments, which could be advantageous for those on strict budgets or dealing with small-scale transactions. I had a guy who delivered a pallet of products to me that totaled over $3,000. He requested cash, and I was okay with that. We went to the bank and made the withdrawal. I prepared a receipt for him in advance. So when he arrived, I presented the receipt to him and I asked him to sign it. He was confused and very hesitant to sign the document. I let him know straight up that I needed to have that documented for such a large amount and I wasn't going to budge. I told him that this transaction just was not going to take place without him signing that receipt. And after thinking about it, he signed my receipt. Once he signed, I took a picture of the signed invoice and sent him a copy via cell phone. What if there is not a formal receipt or document to sign? For example, what if you as a buyer purchased an item with cash and the seller says, "Thank you," and starts to walk away? Here is my recommendation for buyers and sellers using cash in a business transaction. Once the transaction has been completed, it's almost too late to ask for a signature. Requiring an individual to sign a receipt for a cash payment should be mentioned in your post to sell an item or to provide a service. For example, at the end of your listing, you could say cash only, signature on receipt required, or whatever language you need to convey that the individual paying with cash will need to sign something. When buyers and sellers meet, requesting signatures should be done toward the middle of the transaction. Once the transaction has been completed and the cash has been exchanged along with the product or service, you can't force somebody to, and come back and sign this. To make the transaction as smooth as possible, allow the buyer to inspect your product or ask questions about your service. Once the buyer is satisfied and presents their cash, slide that receipt in their direction with a pen, requesting a signature while you're counting the cash. If you, the buyer, and the seller have nothing to sign, I highly recommend documenting the transaction by completing an informal receipt using a blank sheet of paper, a napkin, the back of an old receipt, anything that can hold ink. When something is found to write on, include the following information: date and time, what was purchased, amount of the transaction, the buyer's signature, and a seller's signature. If you have a camera, take a photo of the receipt and keep it on file. However, if the buyer or seller is reluctant or refuses to sign any form of acknowledgement, you may want to consider other ways to verify the transaction, and this could include documenting an eyewitness account of the transaction, video footage if it's available, or any other relevant documentation that could confirm the exchange took place. It's crucial to handle the situation respectfully without engaging in any confrontational or coercive behavior, while emphasizing the importance of having a record of that cash transaction for both parties' protection and reference. Some may say that getting a signature might not be needed for every small cash exchange. With that being said, it's super helpful to make sure things are clear and secure. It's like having a little proof that the transaction happened, keeping things professional, and making sure everyone feels safe and confident about the cash changing hands. Do you make the time to document cash transactions? What's your experience with cash transactions? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. If you want to know more about business operations, business management, human resources, and other topics related to running a business, click on one of those play links. Click on one of these click on the playlist.
One eternity later.
Click on one of these playlists. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe.